actually. Let's talk all about it in the Daily Wrap. First off, today on the Level 1 podcast, I talked in detail about the fact that I currently am starting to do highlighted videos on the channel. And what I mean by that, if you haven't noticed it yet, in the last week to maybe week and a half, there's been different videos popping up on the channel that are highlights and summaries of some things that I've done. The first video was when I quit Street Fighter 6 because I was so frustrated with it, making fun of myself and my crash outs and my rage quit and you know, the fun there, because truth, I did. I'm kind of fed up with the game. I don't really want to play it anymore. So it's a truthful statement to say that I did crash out and rage quit. Okay. That video did well. Over 3,500 views. I think up to now it's like 3,800 views or something like that. So it did pretty good. That's not amazing or anything, but it's decent. And then over the last week, on the end of each time that I played a new game, including both Mouse PI for Howard and Pragmata, Mouse PI for Hire and Pragmata, I did another one of these videos that basically was like a 20-30 minute summary of the stuff that happened in that premiere stream. And then notably, the one that's actually doing some pretty good numbers right now is a video about the Quartering versus Kino Casino feud that's currently going on the internet. This video I put out on my day off, and in 24 hours has had 5,500 and plus views, hundreds of likes, hundreds of comments, okay? I'm paying someone to make these for me. I don't have the time. I don't have the skill. I can't do this by myself. Could I do it? If I cloned myself, yes, I could make videos like these. I just don't have time with the amount of content that I put out. So I'm paying someone to do it in the hopes that eventually these videos will get some views, get some attention on the channel, and will actually do well to bring in new viewership. So we're going to see what happens in regards to this style of content and go from there. Hopefully, it will attract people who normally would not check out my channel. Hopefully, some of these videos might hit the YouTube algorithm so that people will check them out and know that DSP is making this kind of content. Money-wise, they're not going to pay off right now. To give you some perspective, the first video was the Street Fighter video. It made me $10. Guess what? I pay way more to make each video than $10. For the record, the editor wants way more than $10, okay? So, yeah, I am going to do this, hopefully in the hopes that this will work. Let's see how it goes. I'm probably not going to do it all the time. Notably, this week, I don't even know if I'm going to do one. Maybe if something happens notable on a stream, or maybe there's a topic I talk about on a morning show, I'll break it out, or maybe not. All right, we'll see how things go. One thing that someone brought up is maybe you could actually do a review, like you beat a major game, right? And you do a mini review. You could talk about the game, but then have this person edit in and superimpose clips of the game and stuff over it. That's true. So we'll see moving forward how it works. But I hope that you'll check them out. In regards to the late stream tonight, this was an interesting one, because tonight the big question was, will I continue to play RimWorld as a game in my rotation, or is it time to finally give it a rest? Now, when I say give it a rest, I want to make this clear. That doesn't mean I quit the game entirely and never play it again. What some people have been suggesting to me is that since we have so many games in the rotation and I'm not really making great progress in said games, perhaps what we should do is put some on hold. And in the case of RimWorld, this is not a hot new release. This is not a game that we even have an actual logical ending or stopping point. It's a sim game where you just continuously make more groups and see what kind of new things you can do, adding DLCs, mods, and variables, right? Of all the games in my rotation right now, even though we've played over 60 hours of RimWorld, I think it would be the game that makes sense to put on hiatus and go back to later so I can focus on all these new releases and things that we're not making much headway in. Tonight, we had a great stream. We had a good audience, much engagement. It was challenging because we're in the cold, and essentially it's very hard to keep everything going because your fuel source is just wood. We can't grow crops, so we had to rely on this giant storage of food from the hunting that we had been doing, and a lot went wrong. Our vampire had to go into his death sleep, so he was out for a while. Then one of our colonists got attacked by a killer squirrel that incapacitated them for a long time. What are you going to do? That's life, right? That's literally RimWorld. That's how the game plays. So I still had a great time with it, but it was a more frustrating night. By the end of the night, things were falling apart. We had run out of wood. Everyone went to chop wood. Now we have no food. There's no animals to hunt. What am I supposed to do? I can't grow food. So we had another conundrum. But I said to everyone, guys, to be honest with everyone, listen, I appreciate people coming out for over 60 hours of RimWorld in the last 3.5 months, but I want to put it on hiatus, all right? It's my decision. I want to do other games. You know, we have Tomodachi Life just came out. I haven't even considered playing it. There's Vampire Crawlers, which I actually want to give a shot. There's other games coming out soon, plus there's big releases like Saros and more. We have to focus on games to finish them. A game like RimWorld can literally be put on pause and go back to it at any point, whether there's an expansion DLC down the road, whether there's downtime. Like, maybe new releases stop coming out at some point over the summer and we want something to fill the gap. We could bring back RimWorld, okay? So thank you so much for suggesting it, for asking for it, for allowing me to play it, and for helping me understand it. I love RimWorld, and I can't wait to go back to it at some point. But for now, as of tonight, it is official. These 2 videos I'm about to upload are the end of the playthrough for now, and the game is on hiatus. I know some people right now are cheering, and other people are like, oh, that's life. I hear you. But I am excited to go back to it later this year. Okay?